So what do you do now?
Well, for quite some time, how I really make my living, besides all this stuff, which is really my hobby and passion and love, but I'm lucky because how I make my living is kind of involved with all this. I have a film archive, and I'm a documentary filmmaker, so I make films about musicians and groups that I like. Unless if I get hired for a lot of money to do one that I don't like, and they want me to do it. But generally, but my archive is in a sense like this room. What I've done is I've tried to collect American music on film. So we've got probably 40,000 performances from 1922 with sound on up to about 2005 of jazz, blues, everyone from Madonna. I mean, everything. It's American music. And what we do with it is we license it out to people that need, let's say you're doing a film about Elvis Presley, you need all the old film. So we're one of the places that has that film. And in fact, we have an internship program too, if you know anyone that wants to, this summer, do it for credit. I should talk to Bob about that. So what we do is we supply material for everyone, from Dancing with the Stars and Oprah to any little documentary and museums. Whoever needs old footage. So I know when what's that show with that guy Simon? What's it called?
Simon.
Simon, the judge, and it's like the big variety. The big where they all go up on singing on the show and.
Oh, American Idol?
Yeah, American Idol. We supply footage for American Idol because they had I remember a Motown theme once, and we supplied a lot. So that's how I make my living. I find this material, we archive it, we preserve it, and we make it available to other filmmakers that need it, or TV stations, or whoever that needs it for whatever.
What are some films that you've already done that
I have a gospel film that played last year in theaters around the country called Rejoice and Shout. And it's a documentary about American gospel music. And, we shot a lot of contemporary people, but we also told the story, a very rich story of how this music came about in America, with a lot of archival old film clips. But then it's a tradition that continues, obviously. So we also went around the country and we filmed in churches a lot of these amazing choirs and performers to this day that are, and we interviewed people like Smokey Robinson and Mavis Staples from the Staples Singers. So that's how I make my living. That was the most recent. I'm working on a film now on Fats Domino, who's a rock and roll rhythm and blues performer, New Orleans.
Yeah.
And that's about 80% shot, but I need to find some money. so we're kind of out of money, and I need to get a grant. So.
Have you done any documentaries or films on any of your favorites?
Yeah, Louis Prima is a New Orleans Italian-American.
Huh?
And telling Louis Prima's story to me was very, very, very rewarding because, he's a guy that my parents used to play his records when I was growing up, and my grandparents. And what I didn't know is that he was a New Orleans trumpet player, and he started in New Orleans with that whole tradition. His biggest influence was Louis Armstrong. And he took it to another whole level. He became a real entertainer. He became the king of the lounges in Las Vegas. And he was Italian-American. He did Italian songs with all this. And so that was great for me because it was three levels that I love. It was my heritage as an Italian-American. It was New Orleans jazz. And it was also, the fact that he was just a swinging, great performer.
That's great.
So that was a very, very. I did two Louis Prima films.
So you were telling me you just got back from New Orleans. What were you doing down there?
I was hanging out. I was down there to visit friends and go to the jazz fest. It's more than a jazz fest. It's everything from hip hop to traditional jazz to blues and singer-songwriters. But it's this massive festival that goes on for 2 weeks, the end of April, early May. In New Orleans, there's like 7 stages at the fairgrounds, and there's every imaginable type of music there. Lots and lots of local Louisiana and Southern music besides jazz, Cajun, Zydeco, all the other stuff that region has given us,
Robert Barda wants me to tell you that he's mad that you went and he didn't.
He's got to come next year.
I wasn't actually supposed to say that.
Okay.
I hope I still get an A. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so
You're
much for everything, Joe. This
You're
has been great.
Hope it's useful.
Yes, it absolutely will be.